Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mass making sessions, and what we are doing today, we are week 115, which if you watch my channel you'll know that we are rerunning. So we are actually rerunning week 15, so remaking the things that we made in week 15, which were little tiny booklets to put inside your journal and inside pockets and things like that. So again, this is quite a good scrap buster because you can kind of tailor these to whatever size pieces that you've got. So I have bought in kind of some, you know, really tiny scraps to just kind of demonstrate that, you know, you don't have to have full-size sheets of paper or anything. I mean, I just happen to have obviously full-size sheets because, you know, that's what I kind of mainly work with. But equally, you can easily do this project with, you know, smaller scraps and things. So, yeah, what you're going to need if you are wanting to make some, you're going to need some pieces to use as your covers. And by covers, you can use anything. So I've got some vellum here, which I thought would be really nice. And, you know, I might have that as inner pages, I might have it as covers, not quite sure yet. And then I've got some thicker pieces, you know, be it either the scrapbook paper, which tends to be thicker, or printables on thicker paper. And then what you're going to want ideally is kind of a variety of papers to have as your inner pages, if you see what I mean. So because we're making booklets, so, you know, tiny journals basically, you're going to want some pages to have inside. Now, it's quite nice to add a bit of variety. So if you've got a variety of different types of paper, then, you know, that's really awesome. If you haven't, then, you know, it really doesn't matter, to be honest, it's fine. But just if you have, then, you know, you might enjoy kind of putting in a different, you know, yeah, a bunch of different kind of papers. So I've got here some piano roll, and I've got some doily and things like that. I've got some vellum, like I say, which, you know, I may or may not use as covers. I've also got some greaseproof paper. So, I mean, just so you're getting different textures and sounds and things like that. I've also got some vintage document here. This has been coffee dyed. But again, it would kind of just slot quite nicely inside, making an extra page, and it's plain on the back. So although it's got some, you know, some text here, the text is not particularly intrusive. You could easily journal over that, you know, using kind of a, you know, different colour or, you know, a marker or something like that. But the other side is obviously plain for journaling anyway. And I've also got some envelope page here. Now this envelope, this again, it's been coffee dyed, although to be honest, it didn't really kind of take to the coffee dye that brilliantly. You can't kind of see it in the majority of places, just a little bit on the creases. But this is also quite nice for including as either covers or, you know, or pages itself. So, you know, you can really kind of mix and match and, you know, chuck in whatever you like. So that's your variety of papers that you're going to need. Now, I'm going to probably bind by using a stapler because that's the fastest and easiest method. You can, of course, bind these as per like a regular journal with, you know, embroidery thread or something. So perhaps I'll just pull in some embroidery thread so we can do one or two of those. Just hold on 2 seconds. Let me pull those in. I'd kind of made up my mind I wasn't going to do that, but yeah, just to kind of demonstrate that, I will bring some embroidery thread along. And of course you can also use your sewing machine, which again, I mean, that's probably, you know, my preferred method along with the stapler because that's so quick and easy. But obviously, you know, I don't want to be kind of going back and forth between the sewing machine and the desk. So I'm going to just use the embroidery thread and the stapler. So, yeah, I mean, this again, this is quite a nice project to use up, you know, when you've got small pieces or small lengths of embroidery thread, you know, that aren't going to be then big enough for a journal. This is the type of thing that you can then use those up. So, you know, there's no waste with journal making. You know, oops, no waste, but we can't even thread it onto the needle. So this isn't a great start. Oops. Oh dear, not through all of that. Oh well. Yeah, so I mean, don't throw away if you've got odd lengths of your embroidery thread left. Don't throw it away because you can always use it for things like this, you know, just binding smaller journals. So, I mean, you can probably see, I mean, that's not particularly long at all. Certainly, you know, you couldn't bind a journal with that, but we will be able to bind one of our little mini journals with that. So, you know, we're going to use some of that type of stuff as well. Other than that, you're going to want your scissors and maybe your bone folder. Again, if you don't have a bone folder, you can just use your scissor handles to, you know, fold your creases over. Okay, so let's get making some of these. So I'm just going to pull in, I think in the first instance, let's just pull in this because I'm actually making my King Street journal at the moment. So this would be, you know, really convenient and really good to actually have my little booklets made from this, because then of course I can put them into the journal that I'm actually currently working on. So I'm just going to cut that down. Now, obviously, like I say, I'm making mini journals. So I'm just going to cut this down here. And these are going to be my covers. And obviously I can get 2 journals now from this. So I'm just going to fold this over like that. Okay, and then I can tidy it up, you know, afterwards. So I'll just quickly do the same with this one. Okie dokie. Like that. And then I'm just going to tidy it up here. I mean, to be honest, like I always say with these things, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, nobody's going to be coming along judging, you know, how straight your cuts are or anything else. You know, this is your project, and, you know, a bit of imperfection actually is going to kind of add to the charm of it. You know, if you wanted to buy a mass-produced, you know, factory perfect piece, you know, you could just go down to the shops and obviously purchase a journal that's, you know, been ready-made in a factory. The beauty of our journals, of course, is because they've got all of our, you know, unique styles and imperfections and things like that. So, you know, don't get too stressed if you kind of think, oh, I've not cut that very straight. It doesn't matter, you know, it's all fine. So again, you can then decide if you want to, you know, for instance, round your corners. You could round all of your corners, or you could just round like a couple of them. So just, I'll round all of them on this one and just the other 2 on the other, you know, the outer 2 on the other one. So they're going to be my covers. And the reason these are being used for the covers is because, you know, this has been printed on that 250 GSM cardstock. So it's nice and thick. You know, so I wouldn't probably have this as inside pages. So for this one, I'm going to just take some of this vintage document. Now, again, obviously you want your pages slightly smaller really than the outside cover. So I'm just going to fold that down here, and I might as well go right the length of the page. And then I'm just going to cut this down. So I might just cut the whole thing like this. Okay, like that. And then let's get some other things going on. So I've got here my envelope page, or my envelope, well, my envelope. So obviously here you've got one side that's a natural fold. Obviously the other sides have got the like seams, if you like, so they're folded over and glued. So I'm not going to use those as pages, but here that is the folded section. That's a natural place to be able to just cut that down straight away, and you've got kind of then, you know, ready-made folded pages. So I'm just cutting that down straight down there. Just put that there. I've got some greaseproof paper, which, you know, again, just for kind of extra crinkle factor. And then I'm just going to take some coffee dyed paper, I think, for this one. So again, just want to kind of have it nice and slim so it's going to fit in there. In fact, I'm going to do it this way this time. So just bring this along so as I can kind of gauge where that needs to be. Okay. And I can just cut that then straight down here. So obviously I'm just making these 2 right now, but what we might do is afterwards we might do this kind of assembly line style where we'll do like all our folding over of, you know, what could be potential pages, for instance. And then you know, kind of then slot some together, make the covers and things like that, so that we've got a bit of a, you know, an efficient process going on. So yeah, this is kind of my initial, oops, my initial stab here. But yeah, we'll kind of try and do it a bit more kind of efficiently when we get into the, you know, the math making as such. So just going to cut those down. Now again, you don't need all your pages to be the same size, they don't have to be identical. So, you know, you might want to kind of cut some smaller, some bigger. It's going to add to the interest of your book, really. So for instance here, I might have this folded this way, so as I've got the text showing, and that would be my centre. Then we've got the envelope page, maybe then have the greaseproof paper page, and I might just tear that down. So again, you know, you don't even have to cut them. You can have mixed, you know, mixed page edges. So some torn ones in with some cut ones. So like that. And then that's all going to just slot into here, like that. And then if you're stapling, what I just do is I just fold that over, obviously folding gently, not creasing it. And then I just put my stapler obviously to the spine, and I can just staple that together like that. Obviously, if I were using the sewing machine, I would just take that to the sewing machine and just stitch straight down the middle. That's it. And that's a super cute booklet then to put into your journals. And, you know, it's taken us literally like 5 minutes to actually make that. So, you know, super quick and easy. So I'm just going to make another one using this paper because, of course, I've got this paper here. So, again, just going to cut this down to the rough size of the book. And like I say, you know, you might want to kind of vary them so you've got sort of different size pages and things going on, you know, rather than have them all the same, which, you know, that's fine, but maybe a little bit boring. Might not even have any greaseproof paper in there. I might just go with 3 pages. So let's just put these in like that. And perhaps actually I'll have this actually, you know, and you can vary the look obviously with, you know, the order of your pages. So then you get some different looks going on. So this one I just need to cut down slightly because it's a bit on the big side. So it's kind of overhanging the journal. And then I'm just going to tear this edge. Oops. Well, I will tear it if it will tear. So tear down that and just tear down these here like that. Okay. And then just staple that whole thing in. Again, just fold that sort of over, you know, very gently so as you're not creasing it. Staple there. Staple there. Like that. And that's it. Another little booklet done. So really quick and easy, aren't they? And, you know, like I say, you can use up some of your scraps. So let's just quickly make one using up a scraps piece, just to kind of demonstrate that, you know, you really can make these very tiny and, you know, use up what you've got on hand. So for instance here, I'm just going to take this little bit like that. Again, just kind of neaten it up now. Along there and along here, right? And then we can make our little pages. So I think I've got some, oh no, I thought I had some blue paper, but actually it's very blue-green. So yeah, it's probably not ideal to put in there, to be honest. But I have got this, which is that little slither of the document. So again, what we can do is obviously take that, you know, and again, when we made this, you know, you possibly thought, oh, you know, she's now stuck with that tiny slither. But obviously this now comes in very handy to be able to make, you know, just that little kind of slither of a page. So I've got some piano roll here. So we could just have some piano roll in this one. And I might just cut this down like that. Cut it down there. And on that side. Oops. Okay. Oops. Let's get rid of those. I'm just having a look because I'm not sure now where that little other scrap has gone. Yeah, I don't know where that's gone, the other piece that I had, but that's absolutely fine. And then let's see what else we've got. Well, I've got the rest of that envelope, so I could definitely incorporate that. So what I'm going to do is cut, you know, this, I don't know what to call this. It's like a hem. It's the edge piece that's been glued over. And I'm going to cut it down here as well, because obviously, you know, I'm not going to be using that as a page. I mean, I could do, but I just felt like that's going to be a bit of a vulnerable spot. So I'm just going to get rid of that and the flap. Okay. And I mean, I'm just using this envelope because it's just giving me then a bit of a, you know, variety of coloured pages. So let's just take that down here. Okie dokie. And then just, again, cut that down kind of roughly to size. Okay. Right, I've got a horrible feeling that I have made these way, way, way too big, but because this is very tiny, isn't it, this little journal? So, yeah, I probably made them too big, but it's fine. Look. Oh, it's not too bad, actually. Yeah, just a little bit off that centre envelope page. So we'll just cut that down there. And then this one, obviously being blue, I can use that embroidery thread because we've got the blue here, haven't we? So I'm just going to put these in here. Actually, I'm just going to round the corners first. Now, I'm going to try and use that one hole binding method. Now, I first saw this on Emily's channel, which she's changed the name, and for the life of me, I can't remember now what she's changed her name to. I'm so sorry. Oh, Emily, I really apologise. I just can't remember now what you've changed your channel name to. I can't remember. I will try and remember and link her below. If I forget, again, it's not deliberate, and I say this all the time. I just have a memory like a sieve. So, you know, please nudge me, and I can then find her channel and, you know, link it kind of after the event. So, yeah, I'm so sorry that I can't remember what your channel name has changed to. So, but what I'm going to do, I've just taken my whole, you know, whole thing, and now I have to remember how to do this because it's a while since I've seen this, but you go round like this, oops, and then back through that hole like that, and then, oops, probably better if I go, you know, one side under and one side over, if you see what I mean, and just can tie that, and then we've got the threads then on the outside, which is quite nice, isn't it? So I'll just tie it there, and then I'll just tie it the other way to hopefully keep it held properly. There we go. I'll just then, oops, undo that. Oh, let me put my needle down there. So that's a little journal there, and it's just bound with the thread. So super, super, super easy. Now, obviously that one hole binding method, you know, it might not work if you made it too big, I guess. But if they're just tiny, it's going to work perfectly. So let's move on now and do this more assembly line style by, I'm just going to fold over a bunch of pieces that are going to be like potential pages, potential, you know, inside pages. And then, just going to get rid of that piece. And then fold over a bunch of kind of, you know, potential covers. And that way we've kind of done it a bit more efficiently. So, yeah, let's kind of get assembly line making, and I'll stop kind of talking through the process unless there's something kind of, you know, that seems interesting to say, I guess. And yeah, we can just have a nice catch up and a relax and yeah, have a nice time. So I hope everyone's having a good week. Obviously, you know, the week's only just started for you guys, just Tuesday, but yeah, I'm actually filming this on the Friday. So the Friday before. I normally film these on the Monday. If you watch my channel, you'll know that, yeah, I normally film them on the Monday. However, I am filming this before because I have very, very exciting news. As you're watching this, I've actually gone away now. So this is all very unexpected, but yeah, I've actually gone away. So hence I've had to film this on the Friday because I'm not going to be here on, you know, on the Monday as I would normally film it. So where have I gone? Oh, very, very exciting. Well, hopefully it's going to be exciting. So it was my dad's birthday last year. He was 70. And yeah, obviously because it had been like the lockdown, you know, we kind of were quite limited and we couldn't really kind of do anything much for his birthday, which was obviously, you know, it was a shame. But, you know, I mean, he didn't mind too much, but I think all of us did, you know, my sisters and I, we kind of minded, but yeah, he didn't really mind. And then it was my mum's 70th birthday this year. So, you know, she now has turned 70. Well, she hasn't just yet. She's turning 70 on Saturday. So by the time you watch this video, she will have turned 70. But yeah, at the point where I'm filming, she hasn't. So yeah, it's like, you know, quite easy then to do a combined birthday, I guess, for them, because they've both turned 70, you know, in a close kind of time frame, I suppose. So, yeah, obviously we've been trying to think what to do to celebrate their 70th birthdays. You know, my sisters and I, and my mum as well. She's been kind of brainstorming as well. And we were coming up with nothing. Literally, we were kind of thinking and thinking and thinking. Could not come up with, you know, anything to do whatsoever. And, yeah, it was kind of looking like we were just going to be doing nothing, really. Just the same old usual thing that we would do for their birthdays, which is, you know, not a lot really. So yeah, anyway, we kind of went round and round and round and round and, you know, suggested various things, and obviously it would have been really nice to do things like with all of us, you know, but yeah, we just couldn't kind of come up with anything that everyone sort of wanted to do, and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Well, would you believe we are now on a cruise? Yay! So I have never been on a cruise before. So I'm feeling slightly nervous, like verging, you know, yeah, kind of verging on hysteria maybe at this point. But feeling slightly nervous about this because I've never been on a cruise before. And actually, I've always said I would hate to go on a cruise. So, oh, I've marked that up a little bit because I've left that so tiny. It's not really going to be useful for anything. So I'm just going to cut it down slightly so I've got a wider piece to at least make a flippy pad from that's left. Yeah, I've always said actually that I wouldn't even want to go on a cruise because, you know, I mean, I don't overly like water, and I'm not over keen on the idea of being like trapped kind of, you know, and I know everyone who goes on a cruise, they all say, oh, you don't notice it, the boat's massive, you don't feel like you're trapped. But, you know, just psychologically, I would kind of know that I was trapped. Anyway, that being, you know, beside the point, all the like cruise operators and things, I mean, obviously, I guess because of the pandemic, you know, they must be kind of struggling, I suppose, to, you know, to be running the cruises, because there's obviously loads of countries they can't sail to at the moment. There's lots of people who can't go on the cruises at the moment, you know, because either they're maybe ill or because they maybe haven't been vaccinated, you know, all those kinds of reasons. So the cruise lines are offering these really, really, really cheap deals. So, and they're sailing to places where I'm not sure whether they wouldn't normally sail to, but yeah, I mean, they maybe wouldn't, I don't know whether they wouldn't normally sail to these places. But anyway, they have these very good deals going on at the moment. And they're kind of like these, you know, what I would call like a mini cruise, because they're going, the cruise that we're going on, it's just going like from basically Southampton, you know, which is reasonably close to where I live, up to Liverpool, which is nowhere near where I live. So Liverpool's probably about 250 miles away, I would say. And then across to Belfast, which, I mean, I couldn't tell you miles-wise how far that is, but obviously that's across the sea. So that's the kind of, you know, the route that the ship is taking. And it's just for kind of, you know, 5 nights. And, you know, so it's a kind of mini cruise, if you like. But it's on one of the massive, massive, massive cruise liners that normally would go, like, say, to the Caribbean or something like that. So, you know, it's this luxury ship, but it's just doing this kind of what I would say is like a mini cruise. And, of course, they're offering these really at very, you know, very cheap rates, very reduced rates. Because I guess they'd rather be going somewhere than nowhere. You know, because it's better to make, you know, a bit of money, isn't it, for them, rather than make none, which I guess they've been making, you know, for a lot of this pandemic, haven't they? Because, of course, you know, they've not been able to be sailing. So, yeah, very, very exciting. So we are actually going. We've literally booked it 2 days ago. And my parents have been amazing, and they are actually treating us. So it's my sister and her youngest child, my older sister and her husband, because all of her children are now, you know, they're grown up. And then it's me and my daughter and my middle son, because my eldest son, sadly, he couldn't get the time off work. But yeah, so it's us and obviously my parents. My parents have been amazing and actually treated us to the cruise, which is just unbelievable. And obviously I feel very embarrassed because, of course, you know, it's their 70th and we should be really treating them to something. But yeah, I think they just wanted to do it, and you know, yeah, very kindly, that's what they've done. So very, very, very excited and very nervous at this point. I'm just going to take this. Now, this is that chip shop paper, which, again, I featured this in a video, but I don't think the video has gone up yet. But, yeah, I've kind of got a video coming up where I kind of talk a little bit more about this paper and, you know, how you can find it on Amazon. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm filming this on the Friday. We've just literally booked the cruise a couple of days ago. I can't tell you what a rush this week has been now, because the amount of things that you're needing to do, obviously, for this cruise, and things like, so my daughter, because we obviously haven't been anywhere for like a couple of years now because of the pandemic, her passport had expired. Now, obviously, we are really staying in the UK, so I mean, ordinarily, you would think you wouldn't really need a passport, wouldn't you? But no, you do need a passport for, you know, some weird reason. You do need a passport. So, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how this week's been. I've spent hours and hours and hours on the phone to different things. So I had to spend literally one day. So this was on Wednesday. I spent 4 hours on the phone, on hold mainly. 4 hours mainly on hold, trying to get what they called like an exemption certificate for her, so that she was able to go on the cruise. I mean, otherwise she couldn't have even gone on it. So yeah, that kind of zapped up Wednesday, the whole of Wednesday. Then obviously, because my son and my daughter and my sister's child, they obviously haven't been vaccinated, because, you know, of course, they're only just now rolling that vaccination program out to children. And I mean, actually, I don't think they're rolling it out generally to all children, if you see what I mean. It's just a certain age bracket. So my son falls into that age bracket, but, you know, he's not had his yet. My daughter, she's not in the age bracket that they're doing. So, you know, they've not had their vaccines. So the next thing that we had to do was obviously be then getting, you know, COVID tests. So all of us had to have the COVID tests. And again, I then had to spend hours and hours on the phone trying to sort that out, because their site went down. So I was trying my best to obviously book the appointments, and unfortunately the site that I had to be booking it on went down. So I just couldn't book the tests. So I think I managed to book, I can't remember whether I managed to book mine or my daughter's, one of us anyway, I managed to book. And then it went down and I couldn't book any more. Oh my gosh. So again, I had to spend literally, and I'm not exaggerating, hours and hours on the phone to try and get that sorted out and get that test booked. So my whole week has just been like zapped up. Well, not my whole week because we didn't book it till Tuesday, but yeah, a large portion of my week has just been zapped up with trying to actually book all these various things ready for, you know, to be able to go on the cruise. And, you know, not that I'm complaining because, oh my gosh, how lucky are we even going on a cruise? You know, very, 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 very lucky. But yeah, it's just been kind of like, a bit of a nightmare. So this morning I've been obviously, you know, doing kind of wash loads and things like that to get ready. And this week also I had to film 14 videos because every week I try and film 7. So that I've got, you know, a whole week's worth of videos. Well, obviously, because we're going to be away now next week, not that I will be away for 7 days. Well, I guess I will be away for 7 days, actually. 6 days I will be away for. But, I mean, obviously, I won't be able to be filming during those 6 days, if you see what I mean. So I needed to do this week's 7 videos and 7 videos for next week. So, yeah, I have been so busy this week. And, you know, I'm in no way complaining because, you know, like I always say, I feel so incredibly lucky that this is my life. You know, yeah, very, very blessed that, you know, this is my job and things. But, wow, it has been a tall order, I have to say, filming quite so many videos. So, yeah, 14. This is my 14th video now this week that I have filmed. And obviously, yeah, this was the last video that I had to film now, ready to go up for you guys on the Tuesday. So, yes, it's been pretty hairy, I have to say, getting all those videos done, getting all those things phoned and booked. And now I have a couple more things I've still got to do. I had some Amazon returns, you know, that obviously weren't really kind of in a rush to return, but now I guess it's more pressing because I should really return them before I go away in case I then forget when we come back. So I have got, yeah, a couple of Amazon returns to do. And, sorry, I'm just filling in another pink page. A couple of Amazon returns to do. Well, one thing to return to Amazon. I've got to pick up a prescription. I've got to pack my daughter's things. My son is packing his own. I have packed my things. The reason I couldn't pack my daughter's is because she's actually been at her dad's for a couple of nights because obviously she's now not going to see him for the whole of next week. Yeah. What else did I have to do? There was something else. Oh, well, yeah. And obviously doing the washing and things like that ready to get some stuff washed that we're planning on taking. So, yeah, kind of busy week. Oh, and then also we went to have a look around a college, you know, for my son, who obviously he's going to be doing his GCSEs this year. And so it's been like the open nights for the colleges. So, yeah, we did that as well on Wednesday. And actually that was kind of 3 hours by the time that we'd driven there because it wasn't the most local college. So that was another 3 hours kind of, you know, that just, yeah, it was like another thing to kind of fit in during the week. But that was very interesting. My son really enjoyed it. And, you know, it's just given him a bit of food for thought now as to what subjects he might want to do. So he's possibly looking at doing A-levels. Yeah, I mean, no one's ever done A-levels in my family, would you believe? And I worked at the university, the local university, for 15 years and or actually 16 years I think it was. So we are what would be called, or he is what you would call like first generation to go to university, because nobody in our family has ever been to university before. I'm not saying he would go to university, you know, but I mean obviously studying A-levels, obviously that's your door you know, your footstep into university, I suppose. So yeah, if he stuck with the A-levels, if he then wanted to go to university, he would be, you know, what's known as first generation of going to university for our family. So, you know, that's really, really exciting. So yeah, kind of big kind of moment and things. And, you know, of course, big learning curve for us, even just going around the colleges looking at the A-levels and things, because my older son, you know, he's done a vocational thing in that he's got his electrician apprenticeship. So yeah, this was kind of different, and yeah, it was quite interesting and quite fun. Okay, there we go. So yeah, anyway, I've been looking at the boat that we're going on, and it all looks very exciting. It's a massive, massive, massive boat. I mean, most of those cruise ships, they're huge, aren't they? But yeah, it's huge. And it's got loads of things to do on there. I mean, tons and tons of things to do. I mean, I am a little bit nervous, I have to say, but yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be okay. You know, hope I'm not going to feel seasick or anything. I will obviously let you know when I come back. And I'm going to miss you guys so much. You know, miss doing videos and things, because I love doing videos, and I'm in the middle of doing a few things, yeah, that I'm really enjoying at the moment. So I'm really kind of like, oh no, you know, I've got to kind of now break, you know, whilst I'm midway doing all these fun things. But, you know, hey, you know, that's, yeah, I'm not complaining. Obviously, you know, so lucky to be going away at all. And I feel like, wow, I've actually had quite a lot of really quite exciting things going on lately. So yeah, I feel very blessed to be doing something really cool and exciting. But yeah, so I will let you know obviously how we get on. Oops, when I come back. I guess one other thing to mention. So of course I'm now behind with my emails and what have you again. So a big apology there. We're going, as I say, on the Saturday. So of course I'm going to get up, and before we go, I'm going to film the closing of the giveaway. So by the time that this video goes up, the winner will have hopefully been announced. Now, on those cruise ships, I didn't really know this, but apparently the internet, you know, provision or service, you know, is pretty rubbish, and you have to pay for it. So I have already pre-booked and paid for it. So it's cost quite a lot of money, I have to say. And, you know, yeah, just so that I can hopefully try and keep in contact. Now, the only thing to mention is, although I have done that, reading all the reviews and things like that, you know, on TripAdvisor and what have you, the internet, even when you've paid for it, from what I can make out, is not necessarily the best. So it's not going to be necessarily fast and reliable. I'm hoping it's going to be reliable enough, because I haven't had time to like schedule my videos or anything like that. So I'm hoping it's going to be, yeah, reliable enough to be able to, you know, function and kind of schedule my videos and things like that. And I'm hoping that obviously whilst I'm away, I'm going to then have time to, you know, hopefully get on top of my emails a little bit, because that would be amazing. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to kind of try and catch up with things whilst I'm gone. So I'm, yeah, really hoping that that's going to be doable. But as I say, just a kind of word of warning, I think the internet is not brilliant on the boats. So I have paid for it, so that I can be hopefully contactable in some way, shape or form. However, I don't know quite how good it's going to be. So, you know, again, I'm just kind of putting it out there. I will try and schedule a couple of videos, you know, tonight before I go to bed. I will try and schedule some, you know, for just in case I can't do that while I'm there. I mean, I'm really hoping I will be able to, but you know, you never can tell, can you? So I will try my best to schedule at least a couple. But yeah, I just want you to know that if for any reason I can't get internet or anything, you know, I have tried to get it, if you see what I mean. but yeah, I will definitely, you know, I will be trying to get on and be doing things. I suppose there's normal service, you know, on my channel. So yeah, but yeah, very, very, very exciting and very, very nerve-wracking, but hopefully more exciting than nerve-wracking. Yep, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of entertainment and things like that on that boat. So, you know, I mean, hopefully it's going to just be an incredible experience and, you know, have a really good time. So, and I know I've talked about this before, but my sister, she also got a divorce earlier this year. So it's really nice for me and her to kind of like, you know, have a bit of time away and just, you know, kind of, yeah, you know, nice that she's also kind of going to be on her own, if you see what I mean. Because, I mean, it would have been a bit miserable if either I was still married or she was still married and then one of us was there, you know, as a singleton kind of on their own. But, I mean, obviously we're there with our children. So, I mean, you know, we wouldn't have been on our own exactly, but it's still nicer that we're both going to be there, you know, husbandless. Oh, gosh. Sorry, I'm going to have to pull my glasses down because I can't see at all to thread this onto that needle. Yeah, so that's kind of good. Oops. Come on, come on. Oh, I cannot thread this. Yeah, everybody else has been on a cruise before, except for my sister, the one who's the one who's also got divorced this year. She hasn't been on one before, and yeah, obviously neither have I. But my older sister and her husband, they have been on a cruise before, and obviously my mum and dad, they've been on a cruise before. Yeah, so. Ooh. Exciting and nerve-wracking. Okay. Right, let's pull this down. Okay, so again, I'm just going to now poke this through. Actually, probably should poke it through from this side. Now, what did I do with my pokey tool? Obviously, put it back in my pot here. Okay, so again, just go through that middle piece. Okie dokie, oops. There we go. Yeah, and I'm taking, I mean, obviously I'm taking my laptop. Oops. Sorry, I hadn't noticed that I just went straight through there. Yeah, obviously I'm taking my laptop, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get working on, you know, maybe even the Christmas kit, to be honest. That would be amazing. Because, yeah, that would be good. And I didn't want to take any crafting things, not because I didn't want to, because I do want to, but because obviously, you know, I don't want to kind of just take all of our space up with my craft things. So, you know, obviously, yeah, I've not taken any craft things, which, wow, this is going to be tough for me, spending a week with no craft things. But I have been printing this morning. In fact, it's still printing now, just a few things to fussy cut. So I'm just going to take literally my scissors and some fussy cutting. That's all I'm taking with regards to crafting. So hopefully it's going to just be, you know, if I get time, sort of away from the others kind of in my cabin, or, you know, in mine and the children's cabin, I'm just going to be, yeah, just probably on my laptop or fussy cutting, depending on whether I have much internet use, you know, ability. Right, let's see how many that we've done here, and we can just quickly decorate up a cover. So I've got a whole bunch of pages there that I can obviously continue and make a few more after this video, but, or, you know, when I come back probably. So we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've made 8. I mean, I think that's pretty okay, to be honest. So I might just decorate up one of these because, like I say, I'm actually working on this journal at the moment. So you know, probably just, yeah, be beneficial to work on one of these quickly. So that I'm actually doing something that's going to be of use right away. Right, I've got this, which looks quite nice on there. I mean, I just kind of, you know, plonked that on, but oh, I mean, to be honest, how nice does that look? Just literally, just with a bit of ruffle and just the, you know, that tab there, or tag there. I mean, it doesn't even really need anything else, does it? So let's just bring in my blue. Oh, excuse the back of this, won't you? Okay. Put that down there. So yeah, I haven't actually looked now for a few days to see what it's looking like on the giveaway. I don't know how many people have entered. I don't know what the count with the thumbs up for the Christmas ideas are or anything like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what, you know, what the suggestions are, what seem to be the popular suggestion and things like that. So yeah, we'll kind of see. Oh, I have to say there is a scrapbooking club on the well, not club, class, scrapbooking classes on the boat. So, you know, like on Messenger, you know, where you kind of message your family and things. So yeah, my mum and dad, they forwarded me that link. Said, oh no, I see a video coming. So yeah, I kind of put a laughy face and said, yep, I'd already seen that. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do a video because, like I say, I'm not taking any of my craft things, but yeah, who knows, I might go in and do a little bit of scrapbooking again if there's kind of time. Okay, I mean, yeah, I don't know, I'm guessing that they kind of provide you with everything because, I mean, of course, I doubt anyone's really taking their craft things, but I might be completely wrong. Okay, so I've done that one. I might just quickly do this one as well because I'm working on that journal. So, you know, it would be quite good to have a couple done, wouldn't it? And, you know, that's then really going to be helpful when I'm doing the journal. So I've got these, which are the small journal cards. And, yeah, I might just kind of cut one of these out. So let's just take this one, for example. Okay. Yeah, who'd have thought it at the beginning of this week? You know, obviously I did not have anything planned. And now look, going on a cruise. So, oh, very exciting. Exciting. Okie dokie. Right. So, yeah, going to put that there, I think. Just wondering whether I could have any more ruffle or whether that's perhaps a bit like overkill. I mean, also, the chances are this is going to go maybe inside a pocket. So I have to be a little bit mindful of, you know, the more I bulk this out, the more tricky it's going to be to obviously put it into a pocket. But what I can do is I can glue this down now here as a pocket. So I'm just going to, you know, glue that on the three sides. Oops, like that. Okie dokie. And then what I've got now, you see, is obviously a pocket here on the side. This can obviously then also go into a pocket, which is, you know, awesome. And then here I've just got some lace, which I could wrap around there. Now, obviously that lace is too small for this piece. Does that matter? That's the question. Oh, or I've got this grey colour, which perhaps I could use that. Oh, then I've covered up those flowers, which that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because those flowers actually looked really nice. Perhaps I'll just have a look. Oh, this is so tricky, isn't it? Perhaps I just have this little bit of lace up here, I think. So let me just ink around this. Okie dokie. Oh, and thank you so much to all those lovely people who watched my Gibwood revival video. I know that, you know, that's not kind of going to be for everybody. And, you know, of course, that's not, you know, journaling or anything like that. But of course, you know, it does have lots of vintage kind of interest and things like that. And yeah, you made some lovely comments. I'm still obviously looking at the comments and things. So yeah, but thank you so much to those lovely people who watched it and, you know, who've made those really nice comments, because you know, it was a really fun day out, and I just wanted to really share it with you guys, because I thought, you know, being a vintage kind of themed day, that it would just be of interest to, you know, many of you. And yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you so much to all you lovely ladies who've watched the video and enjoyed the video. You know, that really is so nice. So nice that you took the time out and watched that video. So yeah, thank you very much. Okay, right, so this is just one of my little labels, and I'm just going to put this down, I think, on here, just because actually it goes quite nicely colour wise, doesn't it, with the King Street kit. This particular you know, page of labels, it goes quite nicely on here. So yeah, I mean, that just, oh, I might even have it in the centre. I'll just pop that down there. Okay, like that. Yay. So that's my two little booklets ready to go into my King Street journal. Obviously they have like a variety of different papers and pages and things inside them. You could always put like little pockets and things. I probably won't do that, but yeah, you've got the kind of possibility. This one's got the greaseproof paper, which is a lovely kind of additional page to have, because I love that crinkle. And then we've got these ones obviously for future journals and things like that. So yeah, a good thing to have on hand, that's for sure, because, you know, these are the types of things that I think are quite time consuming, because in order to make these, certainly with a variety of pages, you know, it requires kind of digging out all different papers, some vellum, some, you know, piano rolls, some greaseproof paper, things like that. So actually to have things like this on hand is very, very handy, I think. So yeah, I hope that you like them, and I hope you managed to get a few made. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I really, really look forward to catching up with you guys when I am back. So thank you so much, and hopefully, albeit videos, as I say, will still be going up every day this week. So thank you then. Bye.